DreamHack Open is brought to you by Corsair, Intel, and Monster Energy.
Renegades grabbed the spot at tomorrow's semi-final at the expense of Cloud9. That means only one more place is up for grabs. My name is Ferris Biz, your desk host for the duration of this weekend. And of course, joining me, my wonderful Potter and Maniac analyst. You're falling in love with a teddy bear.
Yeah, I made a new friend. His name is Michele.
Michele?
Yeah, Michele, exactly.
Michele.
That's a friend of mine, yeah.
Okay.
I just saw him on the table. He was so cute. I thought I had to pick it up. And then production said I could, so I'm keeping it now.
Why
my
Michele?
It's a secret joke. He will know. It's a friend of mine.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully Michele is watching. And yeah, keep that teddy close to your side. We are loving our time here in Leipzig, of course, but we are here to talk about Counter-Strike. 3 games down, 1 more to go. Everything is on the line for this matchup. It's been an incredible day, FCS.
There is so much on the line on this game. Not only the last spot in the semifinal, which obviously all of these teams want to have, but also Danish history. This is Heroic versus North, the derby, as you said, rivalry that's been going on for a long, long time. A battle of in-game leader as well. Snappy and MSL, they have been around for about 45 years now in the Danish scene. They've been around forever. So now they all culminate into this game, who's going to decide who is number 3 in Denmark. I mean, number 4 even, out in the group stage.
It is so much on the line, and of course you can see with our Group B bracket recap why these 2 teams have ended up in this lower bracket elimination or time to head to the semi-finals. Obviously North losing out to Mad Lions to make them drop down into the lower bracket, and Heroic losing out firstly to Mad Lions in their opening matchup in that best of 1. It really has been the Danish group of death, and there's so much pride on the line, as you said, Maniac, for this spot as Danish number 2, 3, and 4. Obviously nobody is touching Astralis.
No.
We've discussed that already. Nobody outside of Denmark is touching Astralis, but it's so important for these 3 teams, and these 2 teams coming into the last game of the day. Everything is going to be on the line for them.
Yeah, I mean, the regional matchup, it's something special, right? As a player, I'm sure you've experienced it.
It certainly is, and we have to remember also, I think this is going to be the first time that MSL and Cadian are going to be matching up against each other. We have to remember going back when MSL was benched on North, it was Cadian that was his replacement.
Oh.
Yes, right after that Face-It Major.
Okay.
And then now Cadian has also been replaced. They're on 2 different teams. Old North is back, Heroic is looking strong. So not only are they fighting for number 2, 3, this is a little bit personal as well.
Yeah, there's definitely some spice in this one. I absolutely love that to finish off the day well indeed. But we're going to be talking about the maps in this series. Obviously, we've highlighted these 2 squads are from Denmark, so they will be very, very familiar with the types of maps that each other play, right?
Yeah, they should know each other pretty well. These 2 cores faced each other in the Epicenter Close qualifier, so the vetoes then were Vertigo removed by North and Dust2 removed by Heroic. Now, I do believe that Heroic might remove Dust2 again. North, with MSL being at the helm again, might chance Vertigo. Yeah, they do. So we have the Dust2 ban coming from Heroic, but then North, they take the chance that they leave Vertigo open. Are they going to get punished? Is that an intox? I'm not sure. No, okay, Heroic is not. They're not jumping on Vertigo, so that's 1 point for MSL.
Nuke, I like the overpass pick coming out of North. Although their win percentage isn't very high on it, the last open where North busted out that overpass, they ended up losing. But let me finish.
but that's a good idea.
They had some nice looks. They had a lot of strategies that ended up not connecting in the end, but they had a lot of good ideas. And I'm hoping that this time around, with MSL coming back into the mix, those ideas will actually come into fruition.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, MSL is big brain behind that North squad, and obviously trained to end up on. Is that a surprise for you that we saw that Vertigo being banned out?
Well, this is I mean, Vertigo removed by Heroic, that's a sign of, not a weakness, but I think that if you're Heroic, you would have liked to pounce on that Vertigo that was open for you. You don't do it, you prefer to leave Train open as a third map, but this is a very tactical veto, and this is where you see Snappy versus MSL, two very tactical in-game leaders. Well, we end up with 3 maps, not the open maps, not the Dust 2, the Mirage, we can just run around. No, this is going to be a chess battle, and I'm looking forward to see who comes ahead.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm kind of surprised that you say that you're surprised that Heroic banned Vertigo just because of the last DreamHack Open. We saw North go so ham on Vertigo, but then again, it's a map that a lot of teams don't know what each other are going to do. So it's a very open playing field.
And we don't really know. I think it's hard. Vertigo right now is still in this phase where the experts are yet to be declared. Sometimes a team will jump on it on the LAN and win it, and then we think, oh, wow, they dominated. Then they lose it in the next event. So it's kind of, I think people are trying to find themselves on Vertigo right now.
They're definitely trying to find their ground, but all 4 of these teams, as you said, Freya, they've busted out the Vertigo on multiple occasions. I am glad that it's not in this mix, though, because each time Heroic have busted it out and each time North have busted out, they've lost their own picks on those maps. So once again, that trauma perhaps coming into play here, coming into this series.
Yeah, definitely some PTSD coming into this. But Maynek, you've picked up on a player that you want to highlight for this series. Who is that going to be?
Yeah, I think for North, we have to keep an eye on MSL. To me, that's a no-brainer. First of all, he's back into this team as the captain. He's going to have pressure on his shoulders to prove that that was a good idea, that tactically speaking, he can dominate the game. But also because the last time these two lineups faced, Cadian was the one rocking the show. He was the highest rated player. Now, MSL, we've seen him, he picks up the AWP now. That's not Cajun B anymore. So he's going to be the one to calm down Cadian. Will he be able to do that? I'm not sure. But if they want to win, I need MSL. I need big-time MSL.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you pointed out the last time that these two guys faced was at the Epicenter closed qualifiers. But obviously, Heroic won there, which may not totally have been expected. Do you think that that's going to be a factor in today's matchup?
Yeah, definitely. Well, once again, I do believe that MSL's performance individually is going to decide where North is going to go, because as we had the same vibe at Stockholm, I think when they won the event and MSL was actually the MVP, he was centered in the North play. He was the AWP, he was speaking first. We were all surprised what he could do with the AWP. Well, it seems so far in this event that he's taking the same route.
For sure, but we have to remember once again that qualifier, it was a totally different roster with MSL not in the mix.
Yugi,
and yeah, with Yugi in there, and it was a completely different team, so that's why the scoreline shows Heroic being so dominant in that series itself. I do believe that coming into this series, it should be a lot closer. We heard the confidence coming out of North players, we're number 2. We heard the confidence coming out of Cadian and the Heroic players, no, we're number 2. So these guys certainly have a lot of confidence backing them up. It's just a matter of, once again, this is a series now. It's not the best of one anymore. This should determine who has the edge out of these two teams.
100%. And we had a chance to catch up with S-Tag before this matchup. Let's take a look at what he had to say.
Doesn't feel great. I like the Sprout guys, but you got to do what you got to do, right? We shouldn't have lost yesterday, and it just happened to be an elimination match, and sorry to the German fans. Hope they'll still love us. What happened yesterday was that we tried to surprise Mad Lions with a Dust 2 pick, because we know that Lewis likes to overthink and prep really hard. So we figured he wouldn't have any prep on Dust 2 since it's our perma ban. And we just had a boot camp where we just played it super much. So that was the thought process, and we made it was going well, but we made errors that made it so that we were money fucked instead of them, and that was the biggest issue. Like, we probably could have turned that one around if we with some few key rounds after we saw the match. So. I mean, I'm not too bummed about it. I still think our Dust 2 is pretty viable. But yeah, it didn't benefit us in the BO1. And we're playing North later, and hopefully we'll win. Because I would love to face Mad Lions in the finals. We are the best Danish team here. Go home, Mad Lions. How will I attack North? I'm gonna trip the wheelchair. No.
Some strong words coming out there from S-Tag. I think we may have a contention on our hands. Definitely going to be watching out for this one. I love that this Danish derby has taken full force. It really is going to come down to who takes these wins in these best of threes too.
That's the beauty of the game, but I don't think I've ever seen or heard so many teams willing to be number 2. That's the first time I ever hear it. We really want to be the second best team in Denmark. That is us, but at the same time, Astralis is here. I'm not going to criticize them, but yeah, strong words coming from our friend here, S-Tag, and it's funny because I think he walked the walk on the server. He has been very impactful. We have seen him today go absolutely ham on Nuke. He is the highest rated from his team at the event, 131 at the moment. So he's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's a hard carry in that team, and so far, so good.
So far, so good indeed. And S-Attack, it seems like Nuke is definitely his playground.
Oh, yeah.
Each time I've seen Heroic coming out on that Nuke, it's always S-Attack. But I want to focus on Snappy and Cadian. I think these two towards that ramp area. Snappy behind that box. Man, his timings and his cojones to consistently stay at that box, peak, re-peak, understanding that Cadian's got his back. No matter what the circumstances, if he falters, Cadian's going to come around and retrade him. So I really like the confidence coming out of Snappy to understand exactly how those protocols are working, what the crossfires are going to be, and they pull through always, time and time again.
Yeah, and I think we can even push that kind of partnership further than that. When you see them play, when you watch the video and the cameras, it feels like Cadian speaks a lot. He talks a lot during the game. And I believe that this partnership between Snappy and Cadian is also the core that needs to come up with ideas if things go wrong. So not only must Cadian cover the back of Snappy ramp, he also must cover his back when it comes to game plan. When things go bad and maybe Snappy is out of option, which can happen. Any good leader can have a moment in a game where you just don't know what to do. But Cadian has to step up at that time.
100%. And of course, they're going to be facing up against North, their Danish rivals in this series. These guys have looked incredibly dominant, and they're also the defending champions from Seville. They will be hungry to retain their trophy and lift the first trophy of DreamHack Open 2020.
Definitely, and being the defending champions of Seville, when we look back at that tournament, it was really the KRB show. We gave him the MVP, and really towards the latter part of 2019, it was KRB that stepped up hugely for North, and he was a huge question mark in the beginning of 2019. Where's KRB? Where's the consistency? Where's the star power coming out of this player? And he definitely showed up towards the end of 2019. Now, in this tournament so far, in the two maps that they played, he wasn't the superstar, but he wasn't quiet either. So he's kind of in the middle. I do think that if he steps up hugely in this series like we can expect from him, then this series should swing slightly a little bit for North.
Yeah, it does feel like if you can magically make sure that every North player play to the max, then they outclass Heroic, at least pound for pound. But the problem has been one of consistency lately, because the player that actually impressed us so far is Gade. He's the one that looks like he's entered a new dimension in his career. He said himself, having to be an in-game leader taught me a lot. Now I can focus on my individual skill. And I mean, he's topping the charts at the moment. But then at the bottom, you have AZ. AZ, a player that used to be, or we know, can be very impactful, but hasn't been the case so far. So can you assure me now that they will all step up? If so, yeah, we give it to North. But the problem is I cannot make that statement at the moment.
Yeah, this is why I think this is going to be an incredible matchup. And I believe it is going to be going to all three maps. But that leads us into our predictions. Maniac, I'm going to start off with you first. I've given you both twice first picks. Are you consulting with the bear?
Looking at
I'm consulting. You're sure? With the AWP? All right. Then I'm going to go for Heroic in 3 maps.
Oh, okay. What about you, Christine?
I'm going to go with North.
Okay.
I'm going with North here. I think Heroic is a better team play. I've always been impressed. I've always been a huge fan of Heroic. But I got to go back to pound for pound individually. If these North players show up, surely it has to be North.
A split desk, and I think I am going to be siding with Potter on this one. I believe that if all 5 players of North come out in this series, it's definitely going to be a whitewash, and I'm so excited to see it. And I'm very excited to see what Twitch chat have also said, because 2 Danish teams, we're not thinking about these rivalries from different countries. It is all so close. 52% siding with Heroic. Yeah, the bear might be right. Is this going to be your secret weapon?
Maybe. It depends. If the prediction is right, I'm keeping it until the end of the event.
We have to keep track of his ratios now with that bear coming into play.
That's the first step. Take it seriously, right? All right, cool.
Well, we'll be checking back in with the bear after this series, but don't go anywhere. We'll be getting into our final matchup of the day after this break.
I used to think it was me, I used to think I did you wrong. You played those head games to me, I should have seen it all along. Now you tell all of our friends I'm a dog, but I'm just trying to get by. And don't you know that I could say I'm sorry, but it would not mean a thing. And you might think that I should say I'm sorry, but I'm not. But I'm not. known it all along. Now you tell all of my friends I'm the fool, I'm just trying to get by.
One final best of 3 here on day 2 of DreamHack Open Leipzig. Myself and Launders ready to bring you guys into this. We got the pleasure of casting the Danish Derby yesterday. We titled the placeholder, the interim number 2 in Denmark, and that right now is Mad Lions. But like you saw with the interview in Estetag, he says he wants that revenge. I don't know if he'll get a chance at revenge here in Germany because I think North have their number.
It's all tentative until the tournament's over. There's best of ones out of line the first day. There's only so much you can pull from that. There's a chance here in the best of 3 for them to prove a lot, and they do have to do that because Estetag seemed very adamant that they want to final with Mad Lions. They want to send Heroic, or they want to send North home. That's a lot to prove. This is where you do it, basically. This is the stomping ground. This is the proving ground. This is the chance. I am also siding with North in this series. You and I are siding with North, I think.
I'll put it on paper.
After yesterday, I mean, I really, they look great, and I think MSL just looked amazing, honestly.
Yeah.
So I think, I think in terms of the calling, as well as just his impact, everything for him is working out really well. I feel like they look good. They look good, and I think they can win.
His AWP play was really convincing. Firstly, when we saw him on Dust 2 in their opening matchup, but then secondly as well on Mirage, man. Floating around connector, going for those window peaks, confidently jumping out window to fight top mid. Oh, it was nice. It was nice to see. Again, we kind of expect MSL to add structure and to unlock some of the potential that we know this North roster has, but he has already injected his op into the play, and that's what's beautiful, is that he's finding impact immediately. This is a very fresh roster change. They haven't had tons of time to practice, and yet we've got to praise him for being here already. We swap over to the other side, Heroic. Damn, did they have a honeymoon period. We got some wishy-washy results across a few DreamHacks.
They were like, I thought they were going to be top 10 out of 2019.
They lifted a trophy, they got to the ESL Pro League Finals in Odense, and then the troubles started. Launders?
Hard to even say what they were, but they started.
No, it is. But,
it could have been defined by the individual performances of a couple players,
fair,
which are not really existent now. Like they're doing a bit better, so maybe they can come back to where they were. They just didn't have like much of a run to warrant any kind of drop off, right? It's not like they had an era or anything like that. They just had a couple of great tournaments, a very promising few maps where you thought, wow, these are very innovative strategies that they're running, and then they just couldn't do it anymore. Like they should be able to do that longer.
Getting themselves into finals in like the first 2 lands they went to. But enough yibber yabbering, let's get into the action, baby. Nuke is where we find ourselves to kick off this Danish BO3.
Let's go!
So, Leipzig, I hope you're ready. I think this one's gonna have some beautiful layers to it. But right now, we've just got Heroic playing majority outdoors. Single smoke and flash on their side, double flash kit for MSL on the opposing side of the coin. But it's the red peak. Kierby. Wow. Yeah, Borup gets bopped. AZ's here to help him on the cross. It's always a tough one trying to cross outdoors when you're versus the USPs in a pistol.
It was really good for Kirby to take that peek.
Yeah.
It slows down everything. They would have just continued on after shooting. Even if they had made a couple more steps, they would have just, and he dies. Yeah, it's actually Kating it that killed. Very nice shot by him. They are now,
50.
and they are now in lower.
A game changer. And already we have these CTs trying to get downwards. Gate in the back of the site. Cajun is going to try to sprint into a new position. Almost gets caught as door swings, but that smoke goes down. It should very much ensure the plant unless Gage swoops into the site or they actually head upwards. They're going to challenge Heaven. MSL kind of shies away from this. Remember, kit in play for the retake. The bomb is now down, planted for Mini. And these Ts are both beneath Heaven. There's still a terrorist downstairs inside of the vent, and they also have lobby control. So there's not actually anybody outside to play that post plant. But here's MSL's pop flash, meant to get 2 CTs, challenge the bomb site. They can't connect shots quickly, but they do in the end get those frags. Cadian curbs 1 off of the site, and this is what's gonna call Snappy back into the action. He's trying to come in from Mini, but the bomb's being defused. Heroic, 10 seconds. they've got it.
Yeah, they nailed it. Yeah, that was no problem. They just stuck it. They trusted the two players in front. I guess they didn't know where the second man was just then, but a good retake, a very strong retake. A nice strategy from North. They coming up the vents quite quickly after getting down in a good manner as well. They got down after getting that trade on Kirby they really wanted outside. That was a nice scalp to take, so it feels like a very valid approach to the rounds, but you win some, you lose some, even in the post plans. A good defuse. Good amount of money gained though for Heroic. They spend all of it into this round. 2 rifles purchased. Cajun in front of a smoke in the turnpike. Are these players going to run into him? Trying to get him to turn.
Not bad, not bad. Gets one. And a bunch of substantial damage there. You can see the HP of Stown and Estag.
Rotation? Yeah, okay. AZ's at least got control room for the moment. Pop the windows open in his face. They can help his teammates rotate down through the back of vents at the very minimum. He does the doors won't open or anything like that.
Little wall bang that heads over towards that old toxic corner. It's not rewarded for it, but I like it. Ambitious.
Oh, that's a good nade, huh?
Underhand that frag, and he could blow him out.
Oh, it actually goes towards ramps. Ston stays alive.
Look how much HP is here. 3 of these players for Heroic so low. Cage is working with these wall bangs, but a kill goes back the other way. Cadian almost, with everything on his shoulders, pulls up more than 2, but that's all he'll get. 2 frags as North survive with 2 players and pick up their second round.
Yeah, knocking down a couple of guns is fine. It was kind of all of their money for that round, but they get 2 plants in a row. So they get the plant here. They get majority deaths on this round. It's not a bad round for Heroic. Even though it looked like they could win, I think this is still a partial victory. But in general, it felt like North had control of that. Even though they let them get into lower and lost an opening duel, they didn't lose an opening duel. They had the opening duel traded. They had the control room presence. They had a lot of peace of mind, I think. They seemed very safe in that retake.
It's got a strong spot above Hot. Already they're starting to flood this light. Nobody checks him, so he just rains death down from above. Borup's position now known. Easy. They wreck him and leave Cadian all alone.
He get cleared right now, right? Well, it takes some time to talk, I guess. And yeah, Cadian gets killed.
That's one of those moments where MSL could have looked like a fool, but he's kind of saved by the Counter-Strike gods there. Cadian also not paying too much attention.
So North go up through 3-0, another buy up here. Well, it's officially the first really good one, I say. So yeah, this is definitely the most solid that they've had. Kirby, on the one hand, has just the MP9 to work with. Initial Molotov from AZ to the front of Squeaky. Make sure no endings come his way. They push outside quickly. Kirby off of a flash, gets a kill on Borup. He goes down. Estag attempts to trade and fails. He'll drop that, re-peek, and not get anything for his efforts. Snappy is now searching around to try to figure out exactly what happened. Trying to be a Dexter in this situation, follow the blood spatter, but there's not a player in sight.
Decent nade. Gonna burn a little bit of time here. They do have a player tucked behind Mini in Snappy. Take note of him, of course, because that's the bomb carrier too. So if he dies and the CTs take control of Outer, then these lobby members from Heroic are gonna have a long rotation back into this, and we hit that minute mark.
I love Heroic's T-sides.
Fake rotate.
So this is, make some noise.
Yeah, sprints towards vent and then walks back into the corner. So hoping that Snappy will call that fallback and not expect him to be tucked in the closest of corners.
With the mini presence, they're going to probably use a flash. MSL gets killed. He is out of the picture. Right now, they smoke to be able to clear Kirby. Oh my god, just mechanically speaking alone, he's just too good.
Yeah, that SMG wreaks havoc. And there you go, 1 kill. After they get that initial one on MSL, they're thinking to themselves they're just going to clamp down on the bomb site. But from a minute to 30 seconds, Mohan, we didn't see much happening from Heroic. They didn't soften up anybody. They didn't make the CTs uncomfortable. They didn't try and pressure the ramp room to maybe fake or rotate. No, they just kind of sat outside of the site. And if anything, it was North making Heroic uncomfortable. You saw that deep Molotov screw Cadian out of his position. And suddenly, just as they attempt to bite down on that A bomb site, it turns out to be a rock.
And Kirby, of all people, had the MP9, the worst gun on the server, and got the 3 kills. And the really good initial push, I guess, to just put them off kilter to kick things off. Strategically, they were a bit confused about, well, I guess, you know, how aggressive they should be outside. They thought maybe North were going to continue to be aggressive as the round progressed. That wasn't true. Now they will buy once again. Well, at least a little bit. Cadian's got a good gun. Everybody follows suit with just the pistols, the armor, and the extra grenades. AZ gets punished a bit this time for trying to come into Mini. That is the life of a Mini player. 2 smokes. Kirby will see cascading over top of the silo to help with the cross outside. And we'll see some proactive presence here from Kirby as he not only throws the Molotov, but stands close enough to hear footsteps. He's not going to go through with any spam damage just yet. Rotation is already into lower, though, once again.
Ooh. No? Bit of a gimmick at the end of that. Maybe using the 1 Krieg to find a player outside, but that's not the case. They will all work down through Secret, and they'll be met by a smoke and a crossfire. No, excuse me, it's just AZ on his own. Ooh, that's a lot of heads about to pop up at the very same time. 1 less.
Like a balloon. Oh, sees the whole boy band.
Yeah.
Fall back to control. Has to rotate in from ramp. This is great movement here from North.
And Gade, he's just going to sit comfortably at the top of vent, so even if Heroic go for that scramble upwards towards A, he's going to mow them down. But they opt not to head elsewhere. They do keep it side by side, and I will feel bad for them if they walk into this B bomb site, Mohan. There are 3 CTs in position, a molly down at the 25-second mark. That's going to flush all of them out of the double doors, and the moment they come out, they should be dead. But remember, there is that Krieg I had forgotten, and it's already used to get the first kill. Now AZ comes in, striking from the back of the bomb site and shutting this down. 10 seconds, and Cadian, at least maybe having this happen, will give them a chance to plant, but no, he's dead too. So Estetag has lost control of that bomb, and while Cadian does pick up some kills this round, they don't find their footing on the site itself.
That's a perfect setup from North. Really, really nice. Yeah, like everything was just super clean, the rotations. AZ played his spot perfectly, got his kill, fell back into control, ramp, rotates down. It's obviously just an eco, but they have it under full lockdown, right? They put on their hazmat suits. They had everything in lower perfectly aligned for the cleanest possible anti-eco. Yep. And even if North went, even if Heroic tried to do their pistol and come back up the vent, they were prepared upstairs. No one had to be scared or move too much.
Ooh. Estetag dangerous.
Good nade, yeah. No, definitely very, very solid to the top of silo. And Gade takes the liberty of pushing into hut by himself with the M4.
They're expecting the secret peek, but Kirby's already actually in the corner. Sorry, no, I could be wrong.
Yeah, he's like
he's in the back of garage.
Yeah.
Sorry. I opened up the big map, Mohan.
It's a nice position if you have 1 extra support outside just to get info on the cross, but if you just sit here and they try to wrap Mini, it's such a strong spot.
We'll get dumpstered.
Now, it's Heroic to sit and wait for fights. The fights don't come, and they are pressured to make another move.
Heroic so far really boiling these rounds down to the last 30 seconds. Will attempt to hit the B site yet again. AZ gets into position, and he'll even have the cover of the stairs. Perfect timing on his rotate, but he is unable to stop them just yet. He will drop that bomb, and Cajun on the other set of stairs gets an opening kill too. I love that AZ's not even greedy here. He just fades back into the bomb site, and they can set up the same positions that they used in the previous round to completely lock it down. Stown also hits the ground as North are about to find 6 in a row.
Yeah, another beautiful setup here from North. Everything works flawlessly, like clockwork. They all get into the correct positions. As you mentioned, AZ's rotation was just fast enough. Got onto the stairs,
Perfect. 1
kill, got away, and then he even had Cajun, who was already prepared in control room. Because not only did they have Kirby, they have so much of the correct people, the correct positions watched outside. Even the Kirby could take care of Mini. He wasn't the one who called the cross into lower. That was a walk across. It was the player in heaven who helped with that. So it was Cajun, who made his move nice and early so that they could be prepared for any kind of lower hit. And that's making lower really scary for Heroic. I don't know if they're going to feel comfortable trying to go and hit it again, at least not in any kind of like clandestine manner, right? Like they won't be able to get away with getting downstairs without North finding out one way or another. They seem adamant, at least in every single round, of making sure that there's no cross that they don't find out about, which is huge. A lot of the times, teams are losing maps on Nuke because they're not getting enough information outside, and lower keeps getting taken over too quickly before the CTs can get in positions. North are just making sure that's not happening to them, and it's working out so well.
Yeah, late B rotates, like the demise of so many teams on Nuke, and this is not a case of that at all. I mean, I think Heroic maybe played themselves with that Dust 2 veto yesterday, and so far are clashing versus a hell of a beast in the form of North. I don't know if they expected it to be this solid, but it is still early days. We are at the 7th round, and now they do have an opening. Cajun will fall to the smoke spam, but MSL very quickly tries to plug that hole with a trade frag versus Borup. However, again, we talked about these B positions already being set up, and AZ's got a nasty angle to drop that bomb, puts a smoke on site, deals with the jumping Mac 10. Finally, a trade back from Heroic, but it still leaves them at a man disadvantage, and Gade tucked behind the boxes. Seems like Snappy knows it, though. They hone in on him, and they equalize this at the 2v2. Awkward with MSL playing that op. He also has a bunch of utility, but Kierby's tool could be crucial because now they have that edge. Snappy fires off, reveals himself, and MSL takes damage. He tries to charge the op and dies to the other side. 7 in a row from North.
The beautiful 1-2. I mean, they were even fortunate to get the spam kill into ramp to be able to open up things so quickly to make that rotation as hard as possible to lower. And still, AZ got into the correct position quickly. He found a beautiful angle to clothesline someone coming down the ramp, and then even used that smoke to cover his back while he took care of another player coming in through the control stairs, doing way more than he was supposed to get away with there. Beautiful stuff once again from North. Even when all the pressure's on them, they're coming out with these great rotations just in time. Now Cadian looks like he's going to make a fast play outside. Oh, it doesn't actually make it up on top of Silo. Kirby was here waiting for him, though. Outside, it could have caused problems. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise that he doesn't make the jump.
Improvements, though, that's something we have to praise. That was one of the closer rounds here from Heroic. Oh, damn. We got Agent 007 there in Borup. Oh no. Damn, Stown has 2 assists.
But yeah, not a kill either.
No.
Yeah, that's tough. But I mean, it's the tactics that are winning for North.
Yeah, of course.
They're playing positionally. They're playing beautiful CS right now.
Yeah, we haven't seen Heroic really whiff shots. It's just they haven't had chances at taking them.
Yeah, and this is again this is one of the behind like Astralis, Heroic had like my favorite T-side nuke of 2019 with some of the looks that they had, and they are looking like a shell of themselves right now.
Yeah, it was one of like the first maps that we really had to start praising for them when Kevin added in, but there we have it. There's an opening for Heroic. A 5v4 and a flash to the deep vent. Gade's just thankful that wasn't a Molotov because he doesn't have a smoke. Know if he's here yet. Where's this response coming from? I think that's lower. Good timing on the peak. So much damage. Oh! 3 kills from Gade, all headshots, and it pushes down into the 22nd clutch. He'll find nothing.
Damn, brother. Woo! That was nice.
Yeah.
That was Shades of Shroud.
Oh, yeah. That is an earned smile as he scoffs off the squeaky play Mohan. Enjoy this one.
Just pretty much used the number of bullets that was optimal to get all of those kills.
And if Stown just peaks like an inch wider, that's just a 4K in almost 4 seconds.
Yeah.
So very nicely done. There's a good shining example of mechanical skill.
It's a drop. Yeah, they actually get 3 now players down into the lower site. It's kind of a save round here. Chip damage dealt by the CTs. 1 kill had already. Molotov to the back of the site, but the bomb is getting planted to the right of the ramp. Cajun will have info on this. He's heard it go down. His teammates will now rotate in. Might be a bit scary for them since Vent was compromised, and they'll have to take their time. So it could be the bomb exploding. Also, this kill helps out quite a bit. And that one, just to fan the flame, Cade.
All right. Damn, headshots all over the place. I mean, health loss here for Heroic, but so be it. some dirty deagles. I mean, maybe that mechanical prowess of Gade in the last round is kind of a slap in the face. And I know that when you slap me, I always feel really woke after. So
like proverbially?
Yeah,
okay.
Sure. And that's exactly what happens here. Heroic just biting back with pistols of all things. So hell of a way for them, Mohan, to get onto the scoreboard. But after losing 8 rounds in a row to excellent rotations and awesome crossfires, you're going to take what you can get.
Yeah.
So the door is now somewhat cracked open. Let's see if they can follow it with a buy round.
Yeah, Squeaky has made a noise, at least. Vent dive is always valid. Yeah, they're lucky to come across a couple of those kills. Even if if they didn't get both, then it would have been a 3v3, and then the retake was on. So yeah, we'll see if they can carry the momentum over. It looks like a fast upstairs hit. They want to make business into Squeaky. AZ has to reload and allows another player to get down through the vents. There's actually 2. MSL a bit late to the party as well. Doors open for him to try to keep his eyes on both sides. And the bomb will get planted on the opposite side of the silo. One player tucked in, don't know if MSL knows it, but he's going to start to creep in.
Oh, I don't think he does. He doesn't seem to be hard checking this. And his teammates are still preoccupied elsewhere, but he does up close. Nails that shot. Now, if he just puts a smoke and sticks this Mohan, there's no one here to stop him.
Yeah, it's actually an impossible round now to
man,
win.
Unless Cadian somehow finds it. No! He's covered from Cajun. MSL wins the round.
They thought they had a little bit more time. They were a little bit too slow.
Well, Cajun was still back on ramp, and
Yeah.
he's what kept them inside of that trophy room, not
Right.
enabling them to get out from radio. I mean, yeah, I'm not quite sure where everybody else was, but if there's anything there to really take away, it's the fact that
They seemed busy with something.
MSL needed that close-up op shot.
I think he knew he was holding
Yeah.
the doorway, but he's trying to get close
And
to that
assumed
angle.
he wouldn't be wide-peaked by the player who thought he was hidden. But what I praise there from Heroic is what we've got to keep an eye on. With the smoke grenade on Squeaky, AZ just goes full 30-bullet magazine spray. And then once he's on that reload, 2-3 guys get down vent.
On the vent, yeah.
So they're timing that really nicely. And there was nobody else there to help him hold that vent drop.
Yeah, you can't be mad at the fact that they try to go for what worked last round, especially when it's really important for them to get 2 in a row to give something back to their economy. So yeah, I mean, they come close, right? They get the bomb down, and there's 2 players alive at the end of that round. It's a bit haphazard, and they probably had a better chance if they were there to fight, but we can't really talk about that. Either way, good defuse there from North. Very fast with the first responders in the site to just get the job done. It's an objective-based game. You don't have to kill everyone to win the round. You just got to get the bomb defused or get the bomb to go off.
We could settle all this peacefully if needed.
Yeah. I think we'd be out of a job though, so I'm encouraging the fight to go on.
Yeah.
I think.
Keep on raging. Molotov deep. Gonna deny MSL any impact here as the T's do creep outside. They've gotten some footing inside of Garage now. And Jeremy's in an awkward position playing around the blue box.
I think Cadian was forced to fire walking forward there.
Estetag's managed to get past Garage. Kirby's still on the other side of Mini, so he could maybe find someone turn, but no, Borup goes back to double check him.
Yeah, this is nice, compromising Heaven and doing it quick.
Yep.
Yeah, Cajun doesn't know.
So, if there's 2 openings that Heroic have seemed to find, it was with the vent drop and now the Heaven wrap. But they do lose lobby in the process. Good job by Gade to evacuate the bomb site and still give his team a chance in this round. They're gonna have to cross, and he's caught with a knife out. Awkward. 1v3 MSL, I don't think he's able to pull this off. Tons of money still, so save not necessarily needed. Would be very worth it, I'd say.
It'd be nice if he got one more kill.
To get these frags.
Yeah, if you just got one more kill, it would be pretty, I don't know, that would be pretty bad for Heroic moving into the next round. But it doesn't seem like they're going to offer themselves up. So a nice round there from Heroic. Estetag, as you mentioned, getting the wrap off nice and early, compromising Heaven were 2 of the most important plays. And even though they tried to scramble and make up for it, he was there so quickly. Getting that kill upstairs was enormous. And then Gade makes a nice play. Like he has realized when it is time to push into hut, and almost always wins his duel. And there he does get lobby control, but then they just kill him afterwards as they realize where he was. So that was it was already a foregone conclusion at that point.
Walking into a bomb site, and they never saw it coming. Remember, of course, in that moment, we would have had Gade on the squeaky door, we would have had Cajun B in Heaven, and we would have had MSL on the lobby wrap. So 2 in lobby, 1 Heaven on a retake attempt towards A. That's likely. You know, they were still in a good position until Cajun died. So, a second round for Heroic, but one that still had some footing for North. MSL gives good cover. You can see Essetag just trying to peek out a little bit wider to drop this man, Kierby, who is still on the close proximity of Silo. He sees a man on the box, but can't stop him. No, Borup with 3 HP.
Oh, big damage. Cajun goes down, though, at the ramp. This will change the tempo. They just will move off of this information fast. They know, I guess there's no other rotation that could have been here that quickly. Where is AZ at?
Playing over on stairs by double doors.
He's actually made his way in 2 to 3 now. Interesting.
Snappy with another. MSL is going towards spawn, so this
up.
is a save. A third round for Heroic. Here we go.
Not bad.
Props to them. I mean, trailing at 8-0, things were looking grim.
Yeah, it was a fast adaptation once Ston got his kill. That was it. They made the decision, we're going to take ramp, take lower as fast as possible. In general, we're seeing a lot of these maps come down to like 70% lower takes. And I guess if they're lucky enough to come by a ramp kill like that, they're going to go for it. In the past, when they've gone for the takes through secret, it didn't matter whether or not they got through safely or with 5 players. North's adjustment from that perspective was way too good. So there's a third way down. They've actually managed to compromise lower through vents. That's worked out well. And they've also now done it through ramp. The other one through secret, it's not working out so well. So it's good that they're avoiding that and coming in with rounds the same way they want to, just with those bomb plants in lower.
So Heroic's prospects from Grim to Slim. At least 3 rounds on this T side, but what's good for them, of course, is they've got 3 more to go. So if they could close this half with 5 rounds in a row, they'd be feeling real good, Mohan. But North are going to take a pause. They're going to talk things over. MSL.
You know, maybe this is where the half goes a little bit back and forth. It's certainly like North have all the right to make this a 10-5 based on how well they've played. And we know that it's been a couple of rounds where ramp has been compromised almost not by luck, but by a very important like 50-50 duel.
Yes.
That has gotten them the win. That's not going to happen every time. So certainly Heroic will have to bring their highest level of ingenuity to be able to come up with another round win that way.
So let's see what's left here in the first half. Gonna blow open the squeaky door, and Cadian's gonna look for the peak. Hello? Nobody shows. AZ blocks him off with a smoke screen, and MSL's op is on the opposite side of this lobby setup. So if Cadian decides to change direction here, we could have a very crucial sniper duel, but no, what a tease. He'll go back outside.
Somewhat low utility already for North. Across the 1 minute and 10-second mark. And Heroic are making steps outside. They've got lots of utility to be able to cross. Kierby is they're gonna hear this flash being pulled.
Preemptive smoke there, possibly block the volley, and a gnarly angle from Cajun.
That's beautiful.
Excellently done. I mean, you could see how completely countered the mini player was with that trio of smokes from Heroic. He put down his own smoke to one way. It doubles up as an extinguisher to the Molotov. And more importantly, Cajun puts his team in an excellent spot. A 5 versus 3 here with 30 seconds left over. Heroic still with some utility to play, but oh man, the sidle tap from Essetag behind 2 players up inside of heaven. They never saw him come through the door. A 2v2 ensues. Cadian, he's opened up this B-bomb site. He drops 20 seconds on the clock as he starts the plant.
That's a little dangerous.
He's got it. Oh, but it's gonna cost him his life. So he pushes down into the clutch now. He sees AZ cross through vent, and he knows where Cajun was last spotted. Cajun with 3 kills in the round and 15 health is all that he still has. A nice peek and the shot to boot, but can Down finish the clutch? He is 4 and 10. Hell of a half. Bomb tapped, and he's not going to go for it yet. Swings the door, sees the head, and can't take it off. That's AZ with a clutch to keep North in control and give them double digits.
Oh, a big clutch to win. A huge clutch to win. That was some crazy-ass door antics. I'm surprised Cadian decided to go for the open plant on the left side. He had a Molotov that he missed, but even if he didn't miss, he could only throw it to one side or the other. I don't know if he was safe if somebody peeked the right or left side of ramp, so that was an interesting decision. If he planted backside, his teammates in decontamination. Yeah, so he can support him, and Kaden can stay up, and then maybe they would have had a better chance.
Ooh, Cajun. Ooh, the noob tube gets to just splattered here on the exit of Hut. That's a depressing way to go. That's all it takes, Mohan. 2 rounds now, still left in Heroic's T side. MSL will be challenged here towards ramp, but Snappy slow walks into the crosshair. Borup will blast him back and just goes sprinting down towards this B site, but then stops. I mean, he's got a minute here to play. And Nuke, a map that can be beautiful at times for moments like this. You know, you let your guard down and all of a sudden this one remaining player slips through the cracks. You saw Isatag in Heaven, for example. It's hard to keep track of all the different routes, all the different possibilities, but I like that North, they're not doing anything too crazy. They just give him what he's had and hold for the potential for a fallback. You see this man sitting over here towards the T-spawn entrance. That's going to be Kierby holding the angle on Hut. Poor Borup's going to walk right into it. So that is that. North with an 11 in the bag. Quick fight there on that A site through Mini. Looked like maybe they had an exit, but that auto shot, he spelled disaster.
Yeah, those 2 bodies, you know, 2 shots, and that was it. And then Gate also did, or was Gate on the top of Hut?
Yep.
Yeah, and he did some more damage to the last player in the Hut as well. So it just comes down to the firepower that was available upstairs. North, make a case for it. That's it. Now we move into round 15. A very good buy here for Heroic still. No initial aggression. They've had a lot of success with their fast plays, whether it be out squeaky, into ramp, or elsewhere. This time around, it's a more of a passive default. Kierby has been great outside, kind of just all over the place, being very hard to predict, and a lot of times just using a rifle and just finding creative ways to approach all of these different duels.
Smokes will go up. They already do have a player on secret stairs.
That's big.
But he falls away. Doesn't want to force the issue outside. Additional smoke thrown towards Mini. Cadian's hunting here, but it's going to be hard for him to clear these corners. Luckily, there's no one here. Closest line of defense was supposed to be Kierby, but Esatag bests him. Talked about that smoke that keeps AZ out of play, so he's just going to go back towards Secret and find success there instead. It's down, finishing this half 4-13. Rough spot to be.
An up-and-comer at one point, but someone you expect a lot from these days.
Yeah. Someone who has to perform, you know, like we've seen a bunch from Cadian, Esatag, they've kind of been 2 of the 3. Stound's been up there. You know, we've touched on like the Borup drop-off at times. But right now, it's both the young players. Cajun just slipped in, but he should have been spotted.
Yeah, he definitely saw that.
Oh, he slips back out, though, and does substantial damage. Bomb thrown down onto the ground, 10 seconds, so you know Heroic are going to have to scramble for this B site. There are no other options, but there's nobody here to stop them. What's left of North are all inside of the vents. And Snappy sees the footsteps, so that is the man advantage for them. However, a USP kill from MSL gives him a very real chance to exit from Decon. This bomb is planted for double doors, and Heroic have both their members out there, but they've been smoked off. Decon closed. Man already on top of the bomb. MSL's going to try to slip another one through, and they can't even stop him. 12-3 on the CT side. MSL leads by example. Awesome showing here from North. We'll be back after the break.
The future's my face. The future's my face. The future, the future, the future's my face. The future's my
North feeling real happy right about now as they just cemented themselves with a huge lead. Launders 12-3 after the CT side of Nuke, the map choice of Heroic. But if we're going to follow any patterns and trends here today at day 2 of Leipzig, it's that every winner of every series today has won their opponent's map pick and has dismantled the series in a 2-0 fashion. Well, right now, North are looking to do exactly that. A pistol round from Heroic seems mandatory if they are going to mount a comeback, and Snappy tries to get that started. 2 headshots immediately versus AZ and Cajun, but that bomb should still go down unless Heroic swing the door wide open and get into the mix. Gade not even playing cover at this moment. Kierby's supposed to keep him alive, but at least he serves distraction.
2-on-2 and MSL on the top ropes here. That's a big place to be. He can drop down the vent, but he can also wait, and it's really on Heroic to make the next move.
Oh, and he's just beneath them. He sees them. They don't see him. Gade can't get that second tap, so now Esatag's going to sprint towards bomb with no kit. Remember, Boruk's still in the mix. Doors swinging awkwardly back and forth. MSL just needs the shot, but he can't land it. However, time, Launders, time. Is it there?
I don't know. He might have just grabbed it. Yeah, I think
he's got it by the looks of it.
That was close.
It's going to be close, but he's got it.
Oh, my goodness.
Woohoo! Skin of the teeth.
I really do like that HUD.
Yeah, that's a mandatory pistol clutch, though. Absolutely. 4 rounds for them to start this comeback.
Yeah, MSL almost has that, right? Like his opponent is so low. That could have been it. Just basically one of the final nails in the coffin. But instead, a lifeline is thrown. A buoy is thrown. The North have grabbed it. They are staying afloat just for maybe a few more minutes. We'll find out. There is a very good buy here for North because of that plant, of course. The Leals are no guns to sleep on anymore.
Smoke towards Squeaky. One of the few pieces of utility here from Heroic. No harm, no foul, no early exchanges, no damage done. I feel like at this moment, North, they realized they could seize back this half despite losing pistol.
It is a scary, like how little utility there is to work with right now. North anticipating, Heroic anticipating a buy just kind of went all out with these M4s.
They're just waiting for the duels. I mean, eventually it has to come their way, but it's a matter of who gets the best of who. And thus far, it's Snappy. Opening up with 1, scout damage done from Cadian, but there are 3 Ts still here crossing Snappy, yet no one's taken him out of the round, and now he has 2 more reinforcements to come in off of Secret. So even despite him dying, Cadian, with a hot headshot, trades it right back. 5 for Heroic, 7 more to go, 4 surviving members. This is a nice start for the second pair of Danes.
That was. That was a really nice start. They, I thought that could have gone a lot worse. Pixel perfect angle here from Snappy. Plays his angles to perfection. Plays around the box just as well, and make sure they don't lose too much. So North are back onto just straight pistols. They invested just the P250 here for Cajun. Cajun waiting for that door to swing open. He's going to smoke the Molotov himself. Bit of distance here for AZ to overcome with the Glock, but he's got 2 friends. Maybe he considers himself a friend, I don't know.
It's down. hoping that they come rushing into his SMG, but it will be Mini under question. He is pitched upon and dealt with so swiftly is that attempt from North. Understandably, with such lackluster of a buy, Launders. Let's move into the gun rounds, okay?
Yeah, let's finally get into the gun rounds. It was Heroic's T side that we look to the most for their wins on Nuke. I don't know if they'll be able to do a lot more on their CT side. I've yet to see how we don't know much about how North's T side on Nuke is going to look coming into 2020, right? So there's a lot to learn here for us as well from that perspective. So we'll find out. 6 rounds of difference right now. Heroic down but not out. North make a fast cross outside. There's not even anybody here to hear. So Cadian might be left to his own devices. Coming up scoped, which is big, but ends up getting blasted in the face as that barrel just sticks out wide around the corner. Esatag might pick up the pieces, though. A first kill is had at least.
Yeah, Snappy gets into the mix. They don't see that one coming, so Esatag's able to get some damage done. Same thing from his teammate, but still it leaves North in a 2 versus 3, and they may not suspect that Kierby is only coming down from the A site now. And these 2 CTs over towards Bomb Launders, well, they've got their backs turned.
Yeah, and that was a fake plant to try to bait out that peak, and he still lost the duel. Goes flying forward gate. I mean, he can go potentially tap the bomb down. Wow, Esatag not even aware of the thought that they could come from that flank, and there's no real help from Borup in that position. 2 go down, it's just on Ston. Late to the party, out from ramp. Not even close to where the bomb was or any of the remaining Ts.
It's down. Just gonna swing it. He's not gonna see anything until that player on the back of site peaks. And the timing could just play into the favor of North here. He's not working with a kit and he's flashed. Loses half of his health, chips away Gade somewhat. He's hoping that he goes for the wide swing. Bomb is planted behind this, and that second T's got the cross. He just closes the door, but he is shut down as well. North getting back into that 2 versus 3 Launders. I was looking at the radar, and when I saw those 2 CTs down at the bottom of the staircases, I thought it's because they were in control of the bomb.
Right.
And then in hindsight, I realized that bomb was down outside of the doors closed, so the T, who just kind of meanders into the bomb site, finds the bomb and plants it with absolutely no one to stop him.
Yeah, there was no way to stop him. Yeah, the bomb was fake planted in front, flew forward a little bit, but was still within the sight. It was a nice play. I mean, for Kirby to be in that position, really nice shot there. Just the instant quick scope from Cadian, and that changes things. Oh my God, and they get the auto shoddy treatment as well. They're welcome into upstairs, but there are trades that go back and forth. At least Cajun now in a 1v2, but a winnable 1v2, I'd say. 2 players in heaven. He's got his eyes set on it. Doesn't know where one of 2 players are, but he'll also get shot in the back as they decide to push out together and do it quickly.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, Heroic could have just held off, but knowing he could evacuate the bomb site, they decide to just charge him down. Don't let him make his play. He's so fixated with someone coming in from Mini that he offers up his back. Here's that last kill. I mean, he's doomed.
The other thing about the setup in that last round was that Borup didn't really have his teammate covered, Esatag on the control stairs. They just seemed like they were kind of distraught, didn't figure out exactly what the optimal positions would be. They could have very easily covered each other and avoided losing that round entirely, I'd say. But either way, they win the next round. They're potentially winning this one without losing a player as well. 2 kills here for Esatag. Nice and quick. 3 pistols remain.
I'm gonna check out doors if there's scorched earth. Yeah, there is. A Molotov there by Redbox denied that second smoke, so you saw a bunch of players collected to try and cross, but denied access. Considering that they didn't have much to work with, that was only the bits of utility they added here with the upgraded pistols. That's all they had. It was very much an all-in. So I understand why their fallback is just the old vent rush, but they get past the shotgun, Cajun toppling 2, putting them into the 3 versus 3. I mean, come on, they don't have a chance at winning the round, but maybe they get this plant. Snappy, he's gonna shut down the bomb carrier first and foremost, goes for the wild spray, and Kierby then gets the kill, but it's a little bit late. He's lost his teammates, he hasn't reloaded, and even if he does, he's got 4 bullets to pull this off.
Oh man, this could be a matter of timing if Borup decides to turn around. Oh no, he's looking the other way completely, just straight down to Decon and catches him in his peripheral vision. And Heroic will pick that up. That got a little bit hectic. 1 shot missed there from Ston, and that's all it took. He got completely decimated from the squeaky door opening.
Yeah. He was playing the auto shoddy, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Which can be hit or miss.
Pause called. Obviously, North not looking quite as clean as they did in the first half, but you could argue that that was the easier one for them.
Yeah, 'tis the burden of a T side here on DE Nuke.
Of 6 in the second half. But again, I mean, they could, like, depending on just how much money is left over on the winning team, one round could be worth 2, and that's, you know, just a really terrible half could still win them this game, is the point for North.
Thing is, I mean, we've seen many 12-3 halves so far this weekend, none of which have actually resulted in a comeback or overtime or anything along those lines. The games just always get closed down. So maybe Heroic are looking to break the pattern. I'm all for it. But their job obviously not easy. They still trail by 5. Both teams on a bye.
So how do they set the stage? North bomb outside. 3 indoors, or no, 2 indoors, excuse me. For Heroic, they've got the... How are they watching the cross here?
We've got 1 man outside of heaven.
Yeah, Esatag on patrol, sees the smokes plume on the cross. Cadian from secret. Oh, comes off the angle right when he had the opportunity to get a kill. Instead, trades for a nade. That nade does wonders. That's a ton of damage. That might pay off later in the round.
Not too shabby. And he doesn't completely shy away here. Puts himself in a good position to fire, fall back, and potentially fire again. Goes for the vent flash, but North haven't clamped down on this. They decide to head back at the 40-second mark.
This is where Esatag maybe comes into play. No, he has already been pulled down, I think, a little bit, if he's not still in heaven. Ston, yeah, like he's in lower, so that's actually a nice rotation here from North to come back.
Especially if they throw in a heaven wrap. But if they're going to do that, they have to play it quickly. There's 20 seconds left. 2 players inside of the A site, and Snappy on that flank through lobby really makes this awkward, because even if North take the bomb site, it's going to be a tough post plant. So let's see if they even get it down. Molly at their feet, smoke to extinguish, too many CTs to handle. They hold, and Heroic will win yet another. 4 rounds of a lead is all North has now. And unfortunately, Mohan, it wouldn't be a comfortable bye. So, Heroic keep at it. And I like to see this. I mean, we haven't seen more than 1 round won by North since they swapped to the offense.
Yeah. And you can see those. There were smart moves here from North, but it was after there was like not a lot of time. You pointed out it was like 18 seconds left, and they haven't worked on the heaven wrap. The rotation made a lot of sense, and they got Esatag, who was in heaven, out of heaven when they came back. But maybe he felt like he was safe because of the amount of time remaining, and that ultimately resulted in kind of an easy upper hold.
And I think one of the reasons that there is such little time is because they hold off on their wall of smoke. Maybe, oh, Snappy baby, give us some more. He only gets 3. Because their wall of smokes was interrupted by early Molotovs at the start of the previous round, I think they burn off time, see that that's not happening, throw their wall of smokes, and then, as you said, fall back with 40 seconds. It's one of those situations that had they just had another 15, maybe they make that A split work. But that is not what happened. And this follow-up round with the Deagles aplenty from North gets them 1 kill and some positioning on ramp, but it's really the plant they're looking for, and Down's supposed to take that away from him, but he can't manage the AK.
He's really struggling today.
And MSL wrecks him, but Borup has slipped behind them. He's gonna get that, oh, not even.
Oh my God, that actually works out so well for North. I mean, he trades places with them unbeknownst to them, but it doesn't really matter. They're worried about a bunch of things right now.
Cajun's playing behind the door. That's dirty if MSL can get a crisp headshot. I mean, we talked about MSL bringing in tactics, but he's also brought in form. Now that bomb is being defused, or no, excuse me, HUD bug, now it is. Borup is gonna try and stick this through smoke, and they will effectively retake here. Heroic to the double digits, cutting the lead to 3. Awesome comeback on this CT side. I thought Heroic were out of this.
It is, but it's a little bit scary because like even like Stone dropping that frag means that they get a bomb plant, where they would have just not even been able to get a bomb plant if he gets 1. He has had trouble. Even when they did the heaven wrap on the previous round, he drops like a spray where he has about 2 full seconds to get the kill, can't get the kill. He's just struggling a little bit, and he's playing a lot of very high frag positions, and it's costing them opportunities. And at the very, like in the best case situation, it's sometimes just giving up plants, but that's big. Nice patience here from MSL to best Cadian in the straight up duel. And there's an opening. Borup also taking a spot of damage. Low utility already for Heroic.
Esatag dances with death. Runs over MSL's corpse and grabs the op, but then he too dropped this time by Gade, who challenges yet another outdoors. And that Krieg's gonna best Snappy. So from the 5v3 to the 5v2 we go. Heroic. Not looking like they're gonna get that easy 11. North perhaps one step closer. This would be the round for the two young players of Heroic to really step up.
This could be a smart adjustment here for Heroic. Just overstack the Lords, hope they come down here.
They've made the right call.
Chance. Yeah, let's see if they can do it.
Killer Crossfire, all they're gonna need are the frags at this point, and it's a quick tap. More headshots on display, and more importantly, the bomb thrown. They could have just easily headed up to the other side of the site. A smoke in the face of Stown, bomb picked back up, and now they've got him dead to rights. There's no way he stops this.
He wants to get a vent quickly if he wants to make the okay, never mind. Yeah.
No, that's that. He had to get into the mix when that bomb was still thrown down, but
forced to save, and will they let him? I think they will, just because of the money. Like they do want to just make sure they have money. Though, I mean, they kill him right now. He's in a his team's in a very tough position. They might decide to force behind this, depending on how much they have left over. If they even get 2 guns with the op to defend against them going to OT to try to win, they might try to buy. So we'll see. It could be a very different round or a very different match if Ston is able to save this.
There's one, but he falls right back into the capable hands of Kierby. 14-10, North. It took them some time, giving away 4 rounds since their last T victory, but that is their second this half added to the board. Remember, 12-3 was the half.
Oh, Cadian bought. Oh, they're buying into this.
All right.
Well, this is the round then. They're playing to just win it here and now. Again, Heroic's map pick.
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for OT.
Wow, yeah. Cadian, I guess believing in Cadian's op or Cadian believing in himself.
If you don't believe in yourself, how can anyone believe in you?
Tumblr.
Estetag equal close. Ooh, almost reads the silo peak, but he will fall. Heliolio. Down he goes.
Critical moments. CTs have to do a lot. North have a lot of time to sit and wait for them to do a lot to try to make a move.
Especially just to bleed out this utility. That smoke you saw on Squeaky was the last for Heroic. They've got the quadruple flashbang. Snappy's going to take damage from the AWP, but does still stay standing. Cadian's called over towards ramp and Stown. Good job, holds back the lobby push. He's even gonna try to go one better, flanking MSL. I like that. Snappy gets pressured, falls off of ramp, and we see Borup and Stown eventually just push right in. Another one, but close fight.
Cadian just falls out of heaven, I guess, because there was a player upstairs. This puts him in a very awkward position. It's Borup there. They should probably try to bully him in the 2v2. They don't know exactly. I think they know Snappy has the fallback. And it's hard to say if Borup's useful or not from this position. It's not a great gun to have at this distance, but surprisingly can get kills.
Kierby's got the next one. Oh no, not even. Borup gets back into the cover, but he predicts this vent peak 10 seconds. These T's, they have to make their move, and Borup's grabbed himself another 7. Kierby, he's just got to go for the kill, but it's a shotgun, and it's not going to stop him. 15 for North. 5 map points here on Nuke.
Reads it perfectly, and yeah, plays it calmly, gets that easy kill on the back of the site. I was looking to see how many bullets he had left over, because he had spammed through the vent, had to get the kills, doesn't have time to reload, because then he knows he has to go for cover. Borup can play it a bit differently, so just has to nail those first few bullets and does it.
One of those rounds that I would love to just get a replay of, like a 40-second segment, because there was like a tug of war at times. You had MSL pressuring Snappy down ramp, and then you had the lobby crunch pressuring North from the back, but then they continued into hell, which got into the back lines of Heroic, and
Cadian
then
falls
they were in
heaven.
lobby,
Someone
and then
gets
Mini,
off.
and then, it was hard to keep track of that round, so kind of lost in the sauce I was, but at least we know the outcome. North get the best of it in a 1v1 on site. So we talked about the tug of war, really boils down to that one final frag, and that one frag could be enough to set them into map 2, because Heroic will have a haphazard buy here in the 26th round. And North, they're just going to try to bully their way into the A site. Four up on top of Hut, down for the count, but the shotguns at back, down with 2. Through AZ, he takes Kier B, and Gade can trade to keep this even here in the 3v3. Snappy Molotov'd out of position, leaves Esatag to die on vent. Cadian, seeing as he's smoked off, is just going to go ahead and make sure nobody else is outside. If they've corralled the entirety of North onto this bomb site, then at least they can focus forward and not have to turn back. But the bomb's down, and the utility plays to the favor of North, especially with MSL having another smoke. If he drops that on Mini, GG. And he does exactly that. Not a single flash for Heroic to try and push through this. They're just going to have to dry run smoke. They'll attempt to go through, and they're utterly shut down. That's all it took. A 4th round on the T side, and North take map 1.
Yeah, map pick of Heroic, well done. They look good. And again, this is a map that the Heroic they love. I mean, this is their hallmark map, their cornerstone map, and they weren't even better than North today on it. So just, continuing to be impressed by North, continue to be disappointed by Maniac's predictions, and looking forward to another map of CS.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if the guy's relying on a teddy bear to make his predictions, then
how can you trust him?
I think someone should send him help.
Even if he does believe in himself.
We're not going to have to get words from Maniac just yet, Mohan. We're only going to send it to the analyst desk once the series is done. And of course, we will have the second map coming up next after the break.